Okay, so now that I introduced algebra to you guys, we're going to go ahead and try some of these problems. So let me get out the way. Can you please write these guys down? First thing you want to do is write everything down. So pause the video, write everything down. Okay? All right, cool. All right, so now you guys are back and you got all these written down. So when I start looking at, they call it combining like terms, I see you got 3x's and I got 2x's, and I always try to get the kids to understand that the 3x's could be written like this. There it is. X plus x is 3x. I hope that made sense on the other video. And then over here we got two more. X plus x. Well, when you look at them all like spread out, you got 3 plus 2, and that's why 5x makes perfect sense. And it doesn't matter what x is. X can be any number. It's going to work. So I start to get really frustrated with my students when they don't know how to do this. And so I start to just using this. Every time I see an X, I call it a cow. And it makes the kids like, what the hell is he talking about? So it's just, if this is a cow, and this is another cow, and this is a third cow, and then 2 more cows show up, you have 5 cows. So I start using X and replacing it with the word cows, and the kids start to like, oh, I see what he's doing. Check this out. Here's 4 cows, and here's 3 cows. So grabbing these 3 and putting them together with the 4 winds up being 7. And the kids are like, oh, I get it. And then Y is not a cow, so I give it a different animal. And I just call it chickens. So you got 4 cows, 3 cows, that gives you 7, and then you owe me 2 chickens. And the kids who are paying attention are like, oh, I get it. So the 2y with the y, a lot of kids are like, Gomes, I don't see a number here. What am I supposed to do? When you have a letter all by itself, you need to remember there's a 1 there. 1 times y is still y. You have 1 y, you have 2 y's, you have 3 y's. Please don't add it with these -5's, because the -5 is just a number. So that's how you simplify that math problem. So it doesn't matter what letter they use. You can still combine like terms. So instead of stacking them, I start underlining them because I don't want to rewrite stuff. And a lot of kids are lazy. They don't want to rewrite stuff either. So if you got 6 here and you got -8 here, you got -2. And then I'll like put a box around the z's and get the kids to add up the z's. 3 plus 1, positive 4 z's. And that's how you simplify that math problem. Number 5, you start looking for the cows or the x's, whatever makes more sense to you. But -4 and -3, do you guys remember what happens when you owe me money and you owe me more money from the other videos? You owe me 4, you owe me 3. Well, you had a big party and we had to use 7 cows to feed everybody. So you owe me 7 cows. Makes sense. And then you also borrowed 2 chickens from me. You borrowed 2 chickens from me, but you actually had 2 chickens the next day, so you brought them. And so these guys actually added up to 0. And some kids actually write this, and I don't mark it wrong, but why would you write 0 y's? It just, you don't need it. And so number 5 simplifies to -7x. And then as the problem gets longer and longer and longer, the kids start to feel really smart because they're like, wow, look at that big algebra problem. And I turned it into a small one. And the kids start to get a lot of confidence. There's my x's, 5x plus 2x, 7x. I circle my y's. 1, see the 1? Minus the 4, you owe me 3. And then I'll put a rectangle or a box around the numbers. -2 minus 6, -2 plus -6 is the same thing. And that's -8. And hopefully these are getting easier. With practice, you guys will get good at these. So I hope that made sense. Good luck.